Hey folks, Trubie here. Long time no see. I'm finally back. Soon I'll be doing another Warhammer 40k Dice Masters video, just doing a review of the factions. But for now, I'm going to do another quick video talking about my other 40k love right now, Kill Team. We've got our first organized play event coming up this Tuesday, November 12th. That should be fun. I should be there unless something comes up. Still haven't decided if I'm going to play Necrons or Orcs, but today I'm going to do a quick video just talking about the super basics of what a game's like. How it feels, how it plays, the meat and potatoes of what Kill Team is, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy this. So let's get right to it. Alright, let's get straight into our movement step. There are 5 different types of movement, and we're just going to get straight into a couple of them here. So from off screen, we're going to have this orc just move his regular movement, which is 5. You can see his movement, allotted movement, on the bar at the top. That's under the M, next to the orc boy's name. So in this case it's 5. The Necron Immortals also have a movement of 5. Then there's also readying, where you just sort of don't move at all and prepare to shoot. There's advancing, where you do your regular movement and you roll a d6 and you add that to your movement. In this case, it'd just be a 1, so you get to move 6. But when you advance, you don't get to shoot afterwards unless you have an assault weapon, and then that attack is at a -1 to hit. So then there's also withdrawing, which you do when you are starting a turn in melee range of another figure, but then after your withdrawal, you can't shoot in the shooting phase unless you can fly, which neither of these guys can fly. And then there's a charge. So we're going to have this orc over here charge this Necron. So to do a charge, you roll 2d6 and you move that much movement. But before that happens, because this orc is in line of sight of this Necron, he gets an Overwatch. So for Overwatch, you can either move back 3 inches to try to make this roll harder for the orc, or you can take a shot at the orc. This Necron's going to take a shot at the orc. In order to hit, he needs to roll a 6. And he rolls a 5, so he will not be able to hit him. So the orc now rolls his 2d6 to see if he gets there with the charge. He needs to roll a 5. He rolls a 9. So he will get up in the Necron's grill. Now, because that Necron has been charged, during the shooting step, he will not be able to shoot, and now he will not get a movement. So now the orc's moved. Now all the Necrons get to move. This Necron, as I said, he was charged, so he can't move. This Necron's going to ready, so he's going to be able to shoot first when we get to the shooting step. So now, that's all the movement. We go to the shooting. As I said, Necron gets to shoot first. Yes, the orcs went first, but because he readied, he has priority to shoot first. So he's going to take a shot at this orc. So he's within half range, so this Necron's going to be able to use his rapid fire, which gives him 2 shots rather than 1. And because it's within half range, it means he's not going to get any penalty there. But the orc is obscured due to this terrain here being in the way. So we check to see what this Necron's ballistic skill is, which in this case is a 3+. So he would normally hit on a roll of 3 or better, but because of the terrain in the way, it's going to be at a -1. So it's going to be a 4 or better to hit with 2 attacks. So both hit. Now we see if we wound the orc. To wound, we need to roll a comparison of the weapon's strength versus the toughness of the orc. So in this case, the Gauss Blaster has a strength of 5, and the orc has a toughness of 4. So because of that, we would need to roll a 3 or better in order to wound the orc. So both shots wound. So what happens now is you check the number of wounds on the orc, which is the W, and it's 1. So that first one of those attacks is going to reduce the orc to 0 wounds, meaning he will potentially take a flesh wound or be removed from the battle altogether. So you only roll in the injury table once, regardless of how many attacks get through. So on a 5, normally on a 4, 5, or 6, the orc would be out. But because the orc is next to a piece of obscuring terrain, it's at a -1, so you can see it. He's sort of leaning against the terrain to make sure he doesn't die. So on a 5 or 6, the orc will be removed from the game. And it's a 4, so unfortunately, nope, the orc stays there. but he takes a flesh wound. So that means it is harder for him to hit in his future actions, and future wounds are more likely to remove him from the game. Now it's the orc's turn to shoot. So this orc that just got shot, he will attempt to shoot back. He doesn't have the obscured issue, but now he has a wound on him, so he's only going to be able to hit this Necron on a 6+. Oh, and he actually still manages to hit. So, we now check the toughness of his weapon, which is a 4, or strength of his weapon, which is a 4, versus the Necron's toughness, which is 4. So that means he needs a 4, 5, or 6 in order to wound him, since it is since they're both even. And it's a 6, so that Necron will take a wound. Now we go to saving throws. Before, the orc did not get a saving throw because his save is a 6+, and the Necron's weapon has something called armor penetration, so that increased the roll needed beyond what is possible with a d6. Necron, however, the attack from the orc has no armor penetration, and the saving throw on a Necron is that last number on the right of the board, or the card, which is a 3+ on the Necron. It's a 6+ on the orc. So on a 3 or better, the Necron will save and actually not be injured at all. And he does save against the attack. So yes, he was shot, but it just sort of glances off of his shoulder. He doesn't take any damage. So now we move to just the fighting step. This orc is going to just basically try to put his big meat cleaver into the head of the Necron. So we take the orc's weapon skill, which is a 3+, and check the number of attacks he has. That is also known as, up on the top, it is a attack of 2, so it means he'll get 2 attacks with the chopper, but because it's a chopper weapon, he gets another attack with it. That's the special ability of that weapon. So he'll get 3 attacks total, needing a 3+ in order to hit. So both of those will hit, and then he gets 1 more. So all three attacks hit. Now we see how many of them wound. So it's a strength 4 weapon versus toughness 4 on the Necron. So I will need to roll a 4 or better on all 3 attacks to see if they wound. So both of those fail to wound, and that one fails to wound. So now this Necron gets to punch him back. Since he doesn't have a melee weapon, we just use his base stats. So in this case, he has 1 attack and a strength of 4 and a weapon skill of 3. So it's going to be a 3 or better with 1 attack. So 3 hits. He's a 4 or better to wound. He does wound. So now the orc will get a saving throw. He needs to roll a 6 or better in order to save. He does not save. So now we see if the orc is removed from combat. On a 4, 5, or 6, he's out, since he doesn't have any trainer on him to hold him up, and actually that only counts when shooting. When hit, there is no ability for leaning against the train. So 4, 5, or 6, that orc is gone. 2, nope, he just takes a flesh wound. And there you have it. That is a turn. Those 2 orcs each took a flesh wound. It's not looking good for the orcs, but if you look at the point totals, the Necrons are considerably stronger. It's probably just a matter of time until they blast these orcs completely off the face of the map. There we have it, folks. Hope that was a good enough taste for you. I'm still relatively a noob with this. I've been playing it a decent bit, but I'm sure I could have very easily gotten a couple things wrong. So if you saw me make some sort of mistake in there, feel free to let me know. I'm sure you won't hesitate. But yeah, that's Warhammer 40k Kill Team. I really like it. It's a lot of fun, and I'm going to be playing it this Tuesday. So hope to see some of you guys there. Catch you later.